Hello and good evening to all of you. My friends, today I will try to make you understand some of the provisions given in the Act 1861. So, let me start by taking the reference of a person. He was the governor of Bombay. His name was Barter Frere. Barter Frere says, actually, why I'm taking his reference? Because Barter Frere he tries to relate some of the provisions given in the Act 1861 with the revolution called 1857. Barter Frere says that there were so many reasons behind this agitation, but the most important was that the Indians were not allowed in the ruling system. Barter Frere says that what kind of contradiction is this, that the Indians themselves were not allowed to rule over India, and this generated a sort of resentment into their heart, and they started agitating against us. And this 1857 revolution almost, rooted out this British Empire up to a certain extent. The British government considered about the argument given by Barter Frere, and maybe this was one of the reason why through the act of 1861 three people from India were made the part of central legislative council headed by Governor General of India, or you can say Viceroy. These three people were, first of them was Raja of Banaras, the second was Maharaja of Patiala, and the third was Sir Dinkar Rao. So, first time it happened that through this act, these Indians were given the opportunity to be the part of this central legislative council. However, these members were not the common people, as their name itself suggests. Someone has Raja or somebody has prefix as Maharaja. So obviously we can understand that these were not the common man. Moreover, these people were not elected by the people. Hence, we can say that they were not representing the aspirations of the people, as they were nominated by the Governor General of India that point of time. But whatever it is, at least first time it happened that the people of Indian origin, they were given the opportunity to be the part of the central legislative council headed by Viceroy, or you can say Governor General of India. So this is the thing which you need to keep in mind, which is given in the Act 1861. Now the second thing is related to the portfolio system. In this portfolio system, basically what was done, that the Executive Council of Governor General of India, or you can say Viceroy, in this Executive Council there were so many members, and every member was provided the separate department. You can relate this portfolio system with the present government, where what happens that there are various ministries. For instance, the agriculture ministry is there, the defense ministry is there, and every ministry is headed by a different person or a different minister. However, one person can be responsible for more than one ministry. So this was the provision during the time of 1861, and through this act, the portfolio system was made. And in this executive council, the people were given the responsibility of their respective departments, and one person can hold more than one department. So this was the portfolio system which was synthesized through the act called 1861. Now the third thing which is also equally important, which is related to the restoration of power of the provinces called Bombay province and Madras province. Actually, what was done through the Act 1833, when Governor General of India, William Banting, the first Governor General of India, British government thought that India is facing some problems while framing the laws, because the Bombay province generates its own law, the other Madras province is also generating its own laws, and there is no uniformity. Hence, it is creating problem. And what was done through the Act 1833, that the power of legislation which was being enjoyed by Madras and by Bombay, this power was snatched by the you can say the Governor General of India, and this power was given through the Act 1833 to William Banting, and William Banting was made whole and soul to frame or to synthesize the legislation for all over India, or all over portion or territory which was being enjoyed or which was being held by the British Empire at that point of time. However, you should also know that this was a mistake, because why it was a mistake, because Britishers, I think they did not realize that diversity is the only identity of India. Perhaps this was the reason why through the Act 1861 the restoration of power was done, and Bombay and Madras provinces, they were given back their legislative powers so that they could bring the laws, they could generate, they could frame the laws for their respective provinces. So you can say the centralization of power which was started through the Act 1773, and it reached in its culmination stage in the Act 1833. Now what happens, that again the decentralization happens through this Act 1861, where Bombay and Madras provinces were restored their legislative power. So this was also the significant provision given in this act, which you need to keep in mind. Now the third thing which was done, that the ordinance power was given to the Governor General of India, or you can say Viceroy. So through this act, this process of ordinance was brought, and the time period of this ordinance was 6 months. So almost it is very similar to our present system, where ordinance has a 6 months time period. So this is also one provision. Now the last provision I would like to tell you, which was done through this act. In this provision, what was happened, that the legislative councils, legislative council, you can say it is the upper house of a state. However, all the states in our country, they don't have upper house. So these legislative councils were generated through the Act 1861 for the province of Punjab, and for the province of Northwest Frontier province, and for the province of Bengal. So in these provinces, the legislative council was generated, and I think this was done basically to give the freedom to the provinces, so that they could generate their own laws and they could govern their respective territories. So these were some of the most significant provisions which I wanted to tell you, which were done through the Act 1861. And in the next audio lecture, I will try to discuss the next act called 1892. Thank you, friends, for listening me. Thank you.